Okay, I can resume my yeah, what I was doing, saying with you before, because I just finished the call, and so I was explaining about this stuff. So basically, what I did was thinking like this is how I perceive it, and I'm not gonna change it because I like it, but I'm pretty sure you will like the idea as well. So I just don't know how to show you because I didn't take a picture. So how can I explain it? So let's say that in my vision there are two different awakenings basically, or basically it's the same but with two different results. So what we see happening in the end of the manga is the real awakening. The others are basically failed awakening because the arcane, the the Yoma energy is overwhelming the cautiousness, while in the others, which is also the core basically of the manga, of a part of the manga, the organization is trying to, with different experiments, to succeed in creating a being, an awakened being, which or a being that can fight against their enemies, which are the dragon, succeeder, whatever. So those, those things. So they are trying to create something that doesn't lose its cautiousness and can fight against those things. So basically, the experiment is succeeding when Claire and Teresa came in, and they are actually. I mean, not. I know that not everyone see it like I see it or whatever, but I will just say it. So they're basically two incarnations of these twin goddesses. So even if it's not explicitly said or confirmed, but it's like okay, it's implicit. And so basically, since there is a connection between the soul and the name you give to someone, and it's so this is something that I totally believe. I have no doubts in that. Without having seen the manga, I was already sure about that before seeing Claymore. So I have no doubt about this thing. So let's say that I also have no doubts about the fact that in the end they are shown as what they were meant to be. So something that they are not 100% aware of being. They just joke on it, like Teresa's basically joking a little bit on the fact that the names they received and so on. So, but in the end, it turns out that actually God and goddesses are present in the world, and they are fighting against evil. Basically, that's the point, no? So there are two kind of awakenings in or Yoki release stages in our mod. One, it's like you can see like a two different branches, no, or a line that goes in another direction. So this is the main stage of awakening, and there is another line that goes in another direction. Both, if you want to see, like this is the Yoma awakening abyssal line, and the other one is the goddesses, or vice versa. So like this is the goddesses, and the deviation is the abyssal. So it doesn't matter. In the end, there are two different branches. The only point they have in common is the first step, which is the 10%, which is the magic, basically, at least for the moment, as I was saying. So after that, the second stage of release is 30%, which I called Yama's blood, which is blood, actually. So it will be Yama's blood, and it will be here. Oh, no, sorry. It's poison, my bad. 30% it's poison. Here, Yama's blood. And after that, there is the 50% release, which is blood. which will be blood, or at least for the moment it's blood, which I explained before, which is basically after some hit on the enemy, hits on the enemy, it takes away a percentage portion of life, not a flat number or a multiplied number with criticals and etc. Is a percentage of the enemy's health. So it's powerful. So this is the 50% of awakening stage. And then I go with my letter. So after the 50%, there is something that is not in the lore, which I just made. That is the 70%. But this 70% release is not based on Yoma's energy, which is arcane in the base game. It's on sacred or fate, which is goddesses, Yoki, or consciousness, if you want. So it's like like the first stage, the first real stage of Oli, sacred goddesses, light through awakening. So it's not in the lore, but since there is already a base in the game, I decided to use it. So after the 70% of this sacred awakening, there is and the sacred awakening is the sacred. So the 70 is here. They will scale differently, basically, but they will match each other. Like the 70, okay, never mind. Let's go on. So after the 70, there is the 80% Yoki release, which is basically the next stage of the Yoma awakening, which is not still placed anywhere. So because it's, I think, wait a second. Or maybe it's this one. I'm not sure in this moment because I still didn't fix it. So yeah, it's probably this one. So the point is, if you reach the 100%, which is the last one, it's the awakening. So in one way or another, so you become an abyssal, or you just keep your consciousness and then revert back to human form. So this is something that, if it will be possible to have, I mean, technically it is possible, but there are of course other things in the way, which, or maybe not. So let's say that it's possible. That so in the final release, I would like to have also awakenings. So in the game, in the base game, there is like bosses have two different phases, or maybe three in some cases. So it's already something that is in the game for bosses, but it's a big work. So having this happening for the player, that's the real deal. And I'm not sure if it's possible, but I have in mind something like another value statistic, something that can determine the awakening level in that moment. So if you reach a certain bar replenishment, then you're gonna awake. And if you are like if you have enough faith, aka consciousness, aka goddesses, Yoki, then you can revert back. Otherwise, you will just remain an abyssal, or you just go in the other side, whatever. So it's just a rough idea for the moment. So don't take it for done. I'm just sharing my ideas. And so after the 80% of occult, aka Yoma, release Yoma awakening, there is the 99 sacred, which is the twin goddesses status. So here I didn't decide, but basically oh no, sorry, this is gonna be sacred, and enlightening is gonna be replaced and reworked to be the sacred awakening. So this is gonna be the 70%, and this is gonna be the 90 or 99 or 100%, but with fate and not with arcane. I mean, also arcane, but fate will be higher, or goddesses consciousness will be higher than arcane. So, or than yawns. So that's how it is. I just wanted to quickly explain this because it's one of the things I'm gonna work on. In this case, uh, of course, you are always free to express everything you want that fits. I mean, everything that is helping the work, but generally, I would specifically ask to express something technical if you are in the game already, because it's you have to understand first how the game mechanics works. That's the point. But anyway, I will accept every good critics anyway. So I wanted to explain this, and this is my first idea on how to make the awakening to create a kind of awakening inside the game. If it's not a real awakening, it's more the weapon is stacking up with your level according to how you are building your character. So it's probably gonna stay anyway, even if I find another way of creating a buff that makes you go into different awakening stages, and maybe I will just lower down the numbers here, but the point is some of these are probably staying anyway, so not all. Maybe like fire doesn't really fit, so I'm gonna remove it. Yeah, because there is a lot of stuff and then it becomes too complicated, but we'll see. So that's the point. And yeah, I think I said everything about this thing, and just keep up checking my updates. Specifically, I mean both, but specifically when the title reminds some kind of asking for help or counsel or opinion or whatever, because I'm probably asking your opinion in that. So there is a specific reason for the title usually. So not just to catch your attention, but sometimes I also want to catch your attention. So to close once more, the idea of the project is to have the first release with a good part of like a 30% of the whole idea released, so that you can, if you already have the game or you want to buy it for this specific mod play, you can do it while we are working, because at the moment it's probably gonna be a we in the future and not just me working on the rest. So, and you can of course join the project if you fit in somehow. You don't need to be a modder. There are things that you can help with. So I just wanted to remind you that the second release would be, in my mind, in my idea, like more game changing. So in the first release, you will not have all the things that I am doing or having done. You will just have a part of it, not because I'm egoistic, but because some things are easy to replace and others not. So it's like a step by step to change the game, so you can play either some stuff. Then I'm not sure at this point if the armors will be ready, because the guy is still not showing up. He was already done, but he's probably having some trouble or some stuff going on in real life, because the last time he disappeared, this was the reason. So, but I'm not having any new from him, so I can just wait, and if it doesn't, I need to find a third person for this part. But I'm pretty sure he will show up because he's a good person. I know that. So so the second again will be like 60% maybe, and then the final release will, in my mind, that's maybe we are already here, and I didn't show you everything for reasons, of course. So when I'm almost ready or already released the first version, I will make a more in-depth video. So this is just giving you some pills, not just because I want to give you pills, but because it's like I feel I should share some parts, both for enthusiasm from my side and also because there are many reasons. So also because this is an important part for you to understand before you eventually, I don't know, I felt I had to share it. So I'm closing the video now. So every question you have, just leave it in the comment or whatever. So every suggestion. Oh, before you say it, for the awakening stages, one of the first or second ideas was to, and still is an option to make to have different magics, which will not be magics, will be buffs, basically to buff yourself. But in this moment we don't have the time, or the person that can possibly do that doesn't have the time. So maybe later, meaning maybe in 2 weeks, 1 month, I don't know, 1 to 2 weeks, we can maybe find a way, because as we know, from 50% also the body should start changing. So that's a challenge, because the game itself, it's not meant to make this, but it's not impossible. It's just how to place it on the player side instead of the enemy side. That's the point. It's something that it is in the game. It's not as we would like to have it. Just a quick example before I close the video, so you can have a reference, an idea. This is basically the yeah. Here she is. So Malenia, let's go. I want to show you. Okay, just very quickly and without so much sound. This is like one of the optional last bosses, the most difficult one, or one of the most difficult. And she does have two different phases, and this is the original game. It's not how this will be in my idea of the final release. So
was dull gold, and my blood
okay, this is the presentation. If you want to see it, you just go and see it. This is the first phase. You have to slay her down to 0, basically. So after you manage to get her life pool down, she basically goes into a second phase, or a kind of awakening. So this is something that is in the game actually. So okay, there is the video where you think she's dead. Well, she's not dead. Sorry, spoilers. I know, but so okay. So we can say in a way that this thing that is happening now, it's a kind of awakening from our perspective. So this is her awakened form in a way. So I mean, it's a different model with similar but different abilities. So it's something that we can probably put inside, but it requires, we will see. It's not a promise, honestly, because I know it's not easy. So, okay, we can close it now. If you want to see this video, because it's like one of the most beautiful fights, of course, so you just go and check it. But I think I covered everything. Now I'm gonna close the video because I also need to do other stuff, and just let me know in the comments. Okay, see you.